Hi friends, welcome back. In the last video, we saw how to do login with Firebase. In this video, we'll be uh, learning how to save extra data for the user. For example, we want to create a user profile in which we will have username, user phone number, user address, or whatever you want to save along with the user data. So we had created one home activity and this was the layout for home activity. Before we save some data onto the Firebase, we need to capture this data from the user. For that, we will need a profile screen. So once user logged in into this app, he will be coming on this home page. From here, we need to redirect him into profile screen. So first we will be creating a button that will uh, let the user go to the profile screen. So we'll be just simply dragging a button and we'll say profile, and we have to put a constraint because it is constraint layout. Now we have the button. We'll write up code for this. For this we can go into split mode and see here. This is the profile button. We'll create an on click event for this. For this we can say on click profile. We'll have to create a method on click profile in home activity. Now we got from where we will need to launch the profile activity. So from here we'll launch file activity. Before we go into that, we have to create a profile activity. So we create a new activity saying empty activity, and this we can rename it as a profile activity. I already had some profile activity set showing profile activity 2, and we can use the same layout. So I will just create the activity. So this onCreate is getting called. I will say set content view dot layout dot activity profile. I can show you how it looks like. If you go into design mode, you will see it has name, number, and address, and a save button. On click of save, we will be launching another action that will save everything on the cloud. On this button, we will be saving data onto the cloud. Before we reach here, I will show how we can hook that into. So from here, we have to launch start activity, new intent, this, and from here we can launch profile activity dot class. You can see this running. Here, let me launch a, a tool that will show you my phone. So this is my phone screen, and we'll be running this because it's running. I have uninstalled it from my phone, so I need to reinstall it again. It launched and it will do a login with the last login that I did it. And now you see profile button here. Once I click on the profile, launch profile screen. Here we can enter details, but it will not save it. So nothing is happening right now. So what we'll be doing is that we'll go to profile activity. Before you go here, you have to go into Firebase, go into real-time database and activate this. In the real-time database, you will see there is no data right now, and we'll be inserting data that will appear here. For this, you will need to include another library into your project, and that is Firebase database. Last time we had added Firebase UI auth. Now we have to add Firebase database. After this, you come here, and as you see in, I will just make it big so that you can see it. In the activity profile, you have three controls, one for name, number, and the address. Those are edit controls. You can see here, edit text. So you have to create three edit tags so that we can read data from there. Edit text, this edit name, and I will copy paste 3 times. Edit phone number and address. Now we have to assign this find view by ID, this full name. I'll just copy paste this again, save some time. So this is my number, this is address. Here we have to say phone number, and this is address. Now we got the control. On click of it, we have to check. We will retrieve it, the name, say full name. It will be edit name dot text dot to string. Same we will do for 3. Full name, phone number, and address. So here it will be edit phone, edit address. Why we are doing this? Because we can't store the control, or it's a view, right? We have to store the text. Now we'll be checking whether name is there or not. By using is empty, we can check. If it is empty, we will show some message. Name cannot be empty, and just after this we can return, because we don't want to do anything because name is not there. Simply I will copy this and I will check for phone number, and we'll say phone number cannot be empty, and this will be address cannot be empty, and will return what if all things are provided. So we have name, number, and address. So we will have to create a class that can store these values. So we'll create a class, say profile model, and in this we'll have public profile model. This is the constructor. By default, we need to have one constructor for this so that Firebase can use it. And then we'll have 3 fields in this: public string, full name. I'll just copy paste, phone number and address. Model will have all these things, that's all. We'll go back to profile activity. We will create a profile object here, model, profile model, and we'll fill in the values. You can do it via the constructor itself, but I prefer this way so that you remember what you are doing for learning purpose. Now we have the model of profile, so we have to save it. Now how do we want to save it? So I will show here. So this is the root of your database. In this I will create profiles. Inside profile you will have your current user, and what will the primary key. So if you go into users, you will see a UID. So this is your primary key. It is a unique for every user. So I will use this as a primary key. So once you come here, we'll create a database reference, firebase database. We can call it database, and we can create instance for get instance. The second part is that we need to get a reference. Before that, we need to find out current users UID. So we'll have a UID firebase auth get instance get UID. I will check if UID is not equal to null. This should not happen because you are coming here after logging in. So now UID is not null. We'll get a database reference. So firebase database, or you can call it simply database reference. We will say db reference. So we have database dot get reference. In this, what we want the where do we want to put our profile? So we will have child with the name profile, and inside this there will be another child with the name UID. So this is your database reference. Now we got the database reference db ref. We'll say set value, and we'll pass profile model. You can leave it like this and it will sync with the server. But how do we confirm whether it is saved or not? So we'll have to add a callback, say add on success listener, and we can put a callback here. And once we success, then we can say that we can display a toast that can say profile saved, and then we can see the lesson again, then song, and then so. After display it, we can simply finish this activity. Let's see if we run this, what will happen. I stop my application. I will show you here. I will simply launch it. It's building it here. Now application got launched. It will do a auto login, and we reach to the home screen. From here you click on the profile, you come to the profile screen. Here I will be entering my name and say I don't enter anything, and I try to save it. Then it says phone number cannot be empty. So to put a phone number, this is a dummy number, but I'm using it here. And for address, I live in Bangalore. I'm putting it like a Bangalore, and maybe like say India. Then I save it. So as soon as it's saved, it says profile saved. We reach back to home screen. Now if I click again on the profile, it's still showing empty, but our data has been saved. How to verify it? Verifying it by reaching it here, saying going into real-time database. And here you see this is the profile, this is my UID, and this is address, full name, and phone number that we sent it from phone. What is this ID? This ID is same as you will see in authentication as your UID. So now because this data is empty and it is stored in the firebase, now we will retrieve it from there and display it here so that once you click on this button you should see it. Okay, so for this what we need to do, I will just make it little big and we go on create. So from here we have already created this database and this reference. I will just copy paste these values from here. I will write it here like this. So you see here we have a database reference. From there we want to read. Call db reference dot add listen for single value event, and this will give us the value for only one time from the firebase. So we created this. My Android Studio is generating these extra values. I don't know why, but this is of no use for me. So we do this on data change. We will get two callback on data change and on cancelled. In on data change, we'll see if snapshot exists. If this exists, then what we'll do, we'll get the value from this. So we'll create a profile object and I want to create it at the top level so that we can use it. Profile model, it is not new because we will be assigning it values here. Here profile model is equal to snapshot dot get value. What is the class type here is profile model dot class, and this should be typecasted into this. Now we know once we get this value, what we need to do, we need to fill up our values. So edit name dot set text, and here from profile model we can say get the value and put it here, and this we can repeat for phone number, add phone number, add address. Here you have to change phone number and address. Here we have to do one check because this might return null values. Is not equal to null, then we have to do this. Now you see we already filled a profile model here, and while saving we can use the same value, so we don't need to create a new object here because we already have the object. So we can check if profile model is equal to null. It may be for the first time, then we'll create a object for this, else we can use whatever we already have. So we'll just see it, we'll make it small so that you can see. So this is our old screen. I will just run it and you will see the values coming from the server. Sometimes it happens my Android Studio couldn't talk to my phone, so it don't launch it. So I have to relaunch it and then it works. So we are here, we reach home, we click on profile, and you will see the name and data has come from the server. Now I want to change my phone number. to something else. Say my phone number is 4142 and I simply say save and it says profile saved. We'll go back to Firebase and we'll verify whether it is saved or not. So it is saved here and you can verify this by clicking on profile again. So it is saved. Now another challenge is that here if you want to come back to the previous screen without saving it. Okay, I don't want to modify it, so without saving, either I want to make a cancel button here, or we can have a back button on the top. Okay, so to just create a back button, you can go into your Android manifest, and from we'll see a profile activity. In this, you can define a parent activity, and that will be your home activity. Now, if I run it again, and this time it worked and it's going directly into the phone and you will see it soon. I click on the profile button and you see a back button now. I don't want to save so I can click on the back. Right. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any question you can post comment on the YouTube so that I can reply to those comments. Thank you. Bye bye.